Aloha and welcome to the February meeting of the Kāne Neighborhood Board. We will be in session.
And where are people going to stay?
The first order of business is the filling of vacancies on the board. We have 4 vacancies. I sent an email to board members just before this meeting started with a link to the Neighborhood Commission office website that shows the map of our districts and sub-districts. So if you know people who are interested in serving their community, explain to them what we do or send them to me, and I'll get their addresses to Rachel to make sure that they're in compliance with the districting. And so there it is. Is there anyone here or online that's interested in serving on the vacancies on the board at this time? How about that young man right there? Not yet? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to the state and city community reports, starting off with Honolulu Fire Department.
Hi, good evening. My name is Firefighter Randall Wong from Kāne Fire Station. And this is the Honolulu Fire Department Neighborhood Board report for February 2026. Statistics provided below represent a confirmed number of incidents in the neighborhood board's geographical area for the previous month. For more details on the incidents and related mapping information, please visit the fire response search tool on our HFD website at fire.honolulu.gov under the News and Info tab. So the incident statistics for January 2026. Fires, we had 2 structure fires, 0 wildland and brush fires, 1 nuisance fire, 1 cooking fire, and 11 activated alarms with no fire. Our total emergencies for medicals, we had 144. We had 0 motor vehicle collisions with pedestrians involved. We had 4 motor vehicle crashes / collisions. We had 0 mountain rescues, 0 ocean rescues, and 1 hazardous material incident. Nuisance fires include rubbish fires outside a structure or vehicle. And our February fire safety tip is Honolulu Fire Department reminds the public to call 911 first if you have an emergency. Do not drive to a fire station nearest your location. It is very possible that the fire company will not be at the fire station due to responding to other emergencies or performing other duties such as fire inspections, training, and educational activities. When you call 911, the operator will dispatch the closest available fire company to your emergency. Remember when calling 911 to give the operator your initial need, police, fire, or EMS. And after you've been transferred to the appropriate agency, an accurate description of your need and your address / location. The HFD is also able to field 911 text messaging. If you find yourself in a spot where you do not have good reception for voice communication, for example, hiking, text your emergency to 911. If you have any questions, please email hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. Thank you.
You can text to 911.
Yeah, it sounds like it's available.
Has anyone ever done that? Yeah, okay, that's an interesting piece of information. Any questions for the fire department? Mr. Sakamoto?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Fire Department, for coming. Donald Sakamoto. 2 questions. Smart 911, how is that doing with people registering their information? So when you folks come out, they have all your medical and all that. Is it going pretty good? Do you know?
I am not familiar with, I cannot answer that question right now. We'll be able to answer it in the next neighborhood board meeting when we
Yeah, appreciate
push
it.
that question up to the.
And then another thing is February 2nd, well, it was my birthday. We had high winds. And how was the trees? Did you folks have a lot of calls to clean and cut trees around the roadways or areas?
It was a busy day. I know both companies had close to 30 calls total. But as for the specific If it was high wind related, I don't have that information. We'll probably have that information for next month's meeting.
Yeah, well, I commend you guys for doing that because that's a lot of trees to cut and fantastic service you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the fire department? Mahalo.
Thank you.
Next up is Honolulu Police Department.
This guy was tall. Good evening, board members. My name is Lieutenant Drew Kagi. I'm one of 3 lieutenants that serves the night watch here in District 4. I'd like to go over the stats real quickly for the month of January. For the month of January, we had 4 motor vehicle thefts compared to 2 the previous month. We had 4 burglaries compared to 2 the previous month. We had 15 thefts compared to 11 the previous month, and 3 car break-ins compared to 2 the previous month. And we had 0 robberies compared to 1 the previous month. That's the stats for tonight, for the month of January. Before I go into anything else, I just want to introduce you to Assistant Chief Brandon Nakasato and Captain Michael Campbell, who's the captain of District 4, and they have a short presentation for you folks regarding traffic fatalities.
Do you want to take questions now or do
Sure, I can take
the introductions?
Sure, I can take some.
Any questions for the Honolulu Police Department? Dale?
Thank you. This is Dale Carstensen. I just want to call out to the police department for the recent coffee with cops. And I'm sorry if I readdress or not addressing it correctly, but I think it's a great opportunity for the community to see you folks face to face and to be able to share their insight on concerns and what you folks are doing. So I want to say thank you for that. My one concern is how do we get more people to engage with you folks?
That's a great question. I guess we could do better job, maybe advertising it a little bit more, but you're right. It is important the community comes out, because if we can open the lines of communication and make this place a better community to live in, then we all win. Yeah, but we'll look into other avenues to possibly get the word out there for that.
No, please let us know, and we can get that into our newsletter and that as well. So if we have advance notice, thank you.
Absolutely.
Donald Sakamoto?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you for the report from HPD. I also went to the coffee time at Starbucks and met a lot of people. Kudos for you folks for doing it. Coffee was great. Conversation was great. There was a concern by a resident about your tree by your department in Kaneohe. It's very tall, higher than what the alarm sirens are. So the person was worried if the tree falls and blocks or damages your place or the fire department. So that was a concern that was brought. And then there was a concern from people about homelessness. I talked to you folks, and is that a big issue right now for our Windward side right now, especially Kaneohe?
I think it's an issue for all around the islands, but we've been addressing it as appropriately as we can, keeping in concerns of their needs as being residentially challenged. But right now, it's not a huge concern for us on this side of the island, but it still is out there.
Mhm. And thank you. But kudos for you. There was a caller that called the mayor on February 4th, asked the mayor on KHVH radio. He lives in Kaneohe. He commended the mayor and the police department, District 4, for having officers when the power went off to direct traffic. The flow of traffic went better than when the lights were working. So kudos for you for doing that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me turn it over to Captain Camp.
Hi, good evening, Chair, Co-Chair, and board members and community members. I'd just like to sum up our 2025 area of responsibility here in District 4. As you know, we have District 4 is responsible for about 136 square miles with a population of about 150,000 people. To bring up Mr. Sakamoto's concern about homelessness. In 2025, our stored property ordinances, where we as the police department work with our partners like the LNR, like DFM, DPR. We go out to the parks. We help provide services to the homeless people, provide them medical attention, try to get them services to get them into housing, basic, trying to convince them or try to encourage them to seek shelters and help them get back on their feet. Part of that responsibility is also cleaning up the parks and the neighborhoods. And I'd just like to highlight a few things that we did in 2025. So there were 30.4 tons of trash removed from our parks. There was 29 bins of property that were stored by our DFM. So that's homeless people's belongings that aren't accounted for at the time. We actually take them in possession. We store them for a period of time until they're claimed. 4 cubic yards of metal was collected from the parks, from city property. 19 shopping carts, which I know is a big concern in our community, were recovered. And 12 as is items, roll-offs kind of things were also collected. Shopping carts, I know this was brought up in the past. It's hard to get our brick and mortar stores to come and retrieve those shopping carts. So often it falls back on our shoulders, or if we can have volunteers to help collect those shopping carts and get them returned. But we've noticed over the years that these brick and mortar stores, they don't want to prosecute necessarily if they see somebody wheeling their shopping cart down the sidewalk. So we do the best we can. Also in 2025, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our enforcement efforts. We, as a district, one second, please. So many papers. Our crew teams, which are our undercover officers, handled approximately 1,400 felony cases. Okay, so that's less than 12 officers handling 14 violent crime offenses. So 1,400 cases they dealt with, locking up many bad guys. We had over 30,000 calls for service. During that period of 2025, we handled, issued over 80,000 citations. And that doesn't include the breaks, the warnings and whatnot. So give you an idea, that's what we're doing in the community. I'm open for any questions now or after the meeting. I'll be happy to talk story with you and give you an overall picture of what we do. Okay?
Mahalo.
Thank you. Yep.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brandon Nakasato. I'm the Assistant Chief for the Investigative Bureau, which is also encompasses our traffic division. So tonight, I wanted to be here to really connect or engage with the community. What we have, I've handed out here is a report that was compiled by our crime analysis unit, which focuses on our traffic fatalities as well as our critical traffic accidents that occurred in 2025. So total traffic fatalities in 2025, we had 82 fatal and 44 critical MVCs or motor vehicle collisions. Again, this is a great concern to us. Like the member said, we want to engage. We're here to engage with the community. HPD, again, we're greatly concerned. It's our families, our friends that are getting hurt out there, that are passing away. We want to be here to say, HPD can do enforcement. We can do deterrence, be out there in the community, but we also need the community's help, like a grassroots effort to talk to our friends and families also out there. So briefly, what the report shows is out of the 8 districts within the island, districts 4, 5, and 8 had the highest number of fatalities as well as critical motor vehicle collisions. So it is our goal here, starting with the Kaneohe Neighborhood Board, and next week we'll be at the Kapolei Neighborhood Board to address these concerns. The report also includes the modes of transportation that were mostly involved in MVCs, which were motorcycles and mopeds, and next was pedestrians, and just also vehicles themselves. Time of day, the trend was evening hours between 7 and 11. And shockingly, not shockingly, but according to the data, Tuesday and Monday evenings accounted for most of the accidents. The contributing factors, speed was the leading factor. No helmet, not wearing a helmet, not in a crosswalk, and failure to wear a seatbelt were some of the factors that led to the fatalities for the year. So again, if we can reach out to our families and friends, the highest frequencies occurred to individuals ages 19 to 25. Again, the second highest were 56 to 65.
And say what to those people that we reach out to?
You know, slow down, leave earlier. If you see family members going to ride e-bikes, motorcycles, wear a helmet, please buckle up. Be safe. Everybody wear a seatbelt while they're in the vehicle. You know, don't drive and be distracted with using cell phones or other digital devices. That kind of things.
I'm glad you said that because I'm guessing, and I don't think you can get metrics on this because when somebody hits somebody, they're not going to say, I was on my phone, I wasn't paying attention. They're going to say they just came out of nowhere and I didn't see them and then it couldn't stop in time. I stopped riding my bicycle on the roads simply because I get nudged, I get pushed, people go past me, I can see they're on their phones while they're driving. It's probably the biggest thing that, because folks now are so connected to their phones, they're with them all the time. You get used to looking at what's happening and you forget that you're driving. So you've got your phone, you see all these people with their phones right up here, scrolling while they're driving. There used to be incredible enforcement that scared people to death about using their phones when they're driving. Did that go away?
No, sir, that did not go away. We do focus on enforcement within the whole island, as well as our traffic division.
Good.
So we will be using this data here that is also compiled to actually do directed enforcement efforts also for speeding and distracted driving.
Yep.
So
I think as you're telling us to talk to our friends and family, I would put, this is my personal opinion because I'm on the road a lot and now I'm really attuned to it. And I kind of peek out at other drivers when I'm driving and sure enough, they're on their phone and doing their business. And if we could just, I don't know if you need, I know when the police pull somebody over, just to want to talk to them, it turns into a big, a big thing. But if you could just pull people over a little bit more when they're on their phones, hey, I notice you're using your phone, you're driving, please stop that. Oh, and by the way, your safety check is inspired. So I think that would be helpful too. You asking us, I appreciate the grassroots effort and everybody can get involved in that. And I'm also just throwing it back out to you all. That's one of the things I see all the time. Now, any other questions from anybody?
And thank you for that. That's why I'm here. Captain Campbell's here as a district commander for 4. I've also brought our public affairs office here to take notes, as well as our acting captain from the traffic division. So we're all here. We're very concerned.
Awesome. My name is Mo Radke. I'm the chair of this board. I've been the chair for 13 years. I brought this up many, many, many times in the past. So you're free to give me a call. I'll be able to detail anything else that I've said today to the public affairs folks or the folks that are gathering data.
And sir, we do have a dedicated now Safer Roads Together campaign page that's linked to our honolulupd.org. So you can get more information there on all accidents island-wide, as well as communicate with our media team.
Did you hear a little bit earlier, the fire department said you could text 911 if something were to happen? Is that a true thing or we're not sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So So I think you should just call 911 and maybe somebody will get back to us on that.
Yes, and you know, we do appreciate, that's why we're here also to engage with the community more and get some feedback, because again, maybe we're missing something that you might see, or you might have a suggestion that we could do better.
I like what you do.
Okay.
Vice Chair.
Hey, Member Shizuma, Vice Chair Shizuma. Just wanted to highlight when I look at your map, the early map about the traffic fatalities and critical events. In terms of Kaneohe, where our neighborhood board kind of encompasses, you mainly only have, I think, if I'm reading this right, one on the H3 and then one maybe kind of down as you go between from like Castle area, high school, all the way over to Kailua. Like, the rest of it is, it looks like from that map that a lot of the other incidences, I know our district had a lot of moped and motorcycle incidences, but at least within the Kaneohe area, just wanted to highlight, I do think, it seems like there isn't really much except the H3 and that one other location.
Chair.
Board Member Blaine.
Yeah, just Captain Mike, and I said a couple, 3 meetings ago, I travel right past the police station on my way past Castle High School, 7:15 in the morning. Okay. I said, just put a police officer somewhere on the highway, because there's an awful lot of high school kids running with e-bikes, no helmets, earbuds in. I mean, and you wouldn't have, so it's very efficient. You wouldn't have to be out there but 15 minutes, right? Because it's prime time.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that to our attention. We also see that part of our issue with the e-bikes is that our state laws are not up to par to where the technology is. So the traffic division, along with the DOT and our state legislators, are working together to create better laws that match the different styles of bikes that are available now. That doesn't say that we don't stop these individuals, because we do. I believe that is an inaccurate statement. I would get the law for you and I'll follow up with you on that. Regarding, just to follow up real quick, we did check with the 911. You can text 911 nowadays. So I got my sergeant in the back here was able to reach out to our dispatch and just to let everybody know, you can text 911. So this is good.
Donald Sakamoto.
Yes, thank you. In the past, I brought up at this neighborhood board about the maps that you folks, I'm legally blind. I don't understand if the maps are accessible for somebody like myself. And the second question, Cocoa Line, a couple of weeks ago in the Star Advertiser, they had a lady pass a school bus, and was flashing with this stop sign. And the guy that was behind her chased her and said, "What are you doing? You don't pass a bus when it's flashing with red lights in the sign out, because you don't know something." What is the fine for somebody like that? Is it a big fine, or they take the license away? What's the enforcement for that?
Well, thank you for the question, Mr. Sakamoto. Unfortunately, I don't have the specific fine amount on me, but I can follow up with you on that. It's an easy look up. I'm just going to need a few minutes.
Yeah, and then I'd just like to know if the map, I'll take a look at the website to see if it's accessible.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. I'm sorry. You have to come and use the microphone so the recording picks up, and you'll have to say your name. You can use mine if you want. Thanks.
Thank you for being here today. My name is Alejandra Rodas. I have used the texting before and it does work. The response is just very slow, so definitely not for emergencies. My question is, I live off of Waikalua Road, Mahalani Street, and there's a lot of young families with a lot of young keiki there. And our children like to ride bikes and play on the street. However, cars drive by really fast, sometimes up to 40, 45 miles per hour. What do you recommend that us as neighbors can do to either enforce the speed limits or potentially petition for a speed bump? I don't know. What do you recommend in that case? Because we have a lot of neighborhood kids that like to play on the road, but it is extremely dangerous for them to be on the road.
Well, thank you for providing that feedback and that concern. After this, I can get with you and we can discuss some options. I can't speak for the DOT, but I've noticed they put a lot of speed bumps on major thoroughfares. I'm not sure if you will qualify for that. As for speeding in your area, we can do a speed study. That's easily done. And we could provide you with additional assistance, whether that's a speed sign, which something our community policing team would handle, or actually putting an officer out there to monitor speed and address speeding through warnings, citations, et cetera. But I'll check with you after this, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
To follow up, Mr. Sakamoto, regarding the school bus and passing a school bus when the emergency lights are flashing and the stop sign is out can be fined not more than $500 or sentenced to perform community service or both. And if it's on a state highway, you can be fined not more than $1,000 or perform community service or both. So it's really up to the judge. And I would assume that the judge would take in consideration the person's driving record, their history, and things like that before they administer a sentence.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you very much. Next, we're going to go to Marine Corps Base Hawaii.
Good evening, Chair, Board, members of the community. Lieutenant O'Hara, Christy is not here today, so filling in and also following up from last month. So 2 points to talk about. The first is the Military and Community Relations Office of the state is going to be holding an open house. I think that this is following the military impact on Hawaii fact sheet that they had shared a month or two ago. So that will be March 11th at Haia State Park. This is one of many that they're going to be holding across the state, but that's the Windward side one. So that'll be, again, March 11th from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So there's going to be a bunch of different representatives of the service branches and organizations that support the military, and they'll be there to answer questions and engage with the community. So it's encouraged that you guys go out there and take the opportunity to see what they have to say and ask them questions. The second thing, kind of following up to the mangrove situation that we talked about last month, just kind of a follow-up point. We had some discussion with members of the community and legislature, and then also with Paipaio Heia. So something that they had done was they had done replantings where they had removed mangrove. And so that's now kind of on our radar to consider, and it's been strongly encouraged to us. So we're going to start looking at what that process might be. So part of the removal, replanting native plants, particularly akuli-kuli. So those are the 2 things I have. If there are any questions, I'm right here.
Were you made aware of the community concern about ID badges?
That sounds familiar. If you want to.
It was a community member raised a concern about the workers that are removing the mangroves didn't have visible ID badges.
I did see some email traffic about that. I haven't heard a follow-up as far as reaching out to the contractors yet.
I wasn't planning on bringing it up here because to me that was more of a safety issue, number one, because you shouldn't have stuff dangling off you when you're working on machinery. And the second thing was, it's probably more of a question for it comes from the person to the board, then from the board to MCBH, for the MCBH to ask some questions. It just seemed like it was a lot of links in the chain. So I sent it directly to, I forgot who I sent it to, but I think Christy was included on the email.
She forwarded it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So from what I could understand, it was lack of identification on either their clothing or just, I guess, an ID badge. I don't really have much to follow up on that.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Okay. Any questions from Marine Corps Base Hawaii?
Sakamoto.
I see him. Mr. Sakamoto?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Lieutenant, for your report. I brought this up, I think the last minute to Christie, and you were here. On C-SPAN, I listened to it, I can't watch it, but they had a subcommittee for military. Talk of discussion was childcare for military personnel and their families. This is a big issue nationwide at the different bases, but also in the civilian sector too. What can the Marine Corps, how's the Marine Corps doing with their daycare? Because Marine Corps Community Service worked there 21 years. And I would love to see that they have daycare for the young mothers so they can go to work and get more money if their husbands are away. This is a big factor. So what is the Pentagon or the Commandant doing about this, or do you know anything about?
Well, so I know that we have multiple daycare programs or facilities on base, and it ranges from, like below school age, so, they're not quite in school yet, to they're in school, so preteens. So we do have facilities that do support that. I know that the wait list can be pretty extensive for that. And that goes beyond just the Marine Corps as well. So, the Navy, Army, Air Force, like they all have facilities that support that kind of request. As far as addressing like growth or increasing demand, I'm not sure about that. I can ask. That's something that I can definitely follow up on.
Okay, thank you. Hurrah.
Raw.
Any information about the gas pumps by the main gate?
I don't have an update on that.
Okay. And they're still,
I'm also curious about that.
yeah. They've been closed for a long time. And the only reason I ask is when I go to get gas, I always go to those pumps and the sign still says maintenance being performed. So I have to drive to the other side. Small Manini, but
Yeah, so for those that don't know, that there's a second pump site at Mokapu and Harris intersection on the other side of the base towards the commissary.
thank you. Any other questions from Marine Corps Base Hawaii? Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Next, Windward Community College. Ta-da. You should have music. And some walk-on music.
I brought a partner in crime tonight. I wanted to introduce Nicole Campbell. He is our new marketing communications coordinator. I purposely didn't refer to him as the new Bonnie, but it is Bonnie's past role. So I wanted to make sure that everyone met him.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Campbell. Yeah, I'm the new marketing and communications director here at Windward Community College. So just extending support out to the community. Anything that you folks need to be blasted out that you feel that would benefit for the entire community, feel free to reach out. My email is camvel, CAMVEL @hawaii.edu. Mahalo.
And we have a little bit of information to share too. So on March 31st, we will be having our Ko'olau Career Expo. This is a employment event for our community. Special shout out to our alumni, but all of the community is invited, and it's to help increase affordable living wages on this side of the island. So none of the employers who will be there are offering less than $20 or per hour or $40,000 per year salary. So it's an attempt to help our community members more afford to be here. And Ha'aheo Pagan is coordinating that. So if you're an employer and you have some job openings, you're welcome to reach out to actually Campbell at hawaii.edu. He'll get it to, he's working with HAA as well. Nicole will get it to HAA. And if you are interested in a new, different living wage job, everyone is welcome to attend. Our chef is going to provide lunch for everyone. It should be a really great day. And that is on March 31st from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Hale'akoakoa on the exact opposite or catty corner side. And the other item we wanted to share is that we, again, thanks to Harold K. L. Castle Foundation, will be offering our Ho'ole Scholarship for all graduating seniors on the windward side of the island. So if you know a graduating senior and they are coming to Windward, the Ho'ole Scholarship provides to ensure that no one has tuition debt their freshman year. So if financial aid covers their tuition, they're great. But if for any reason tuition is not covered fully or at all by their financial aid, our Ho'ole Scholarship comes in and provides tuition. We want all of our graduating seniors this year to know that college is absolutely possible. We're also scaling up student employment on campus so they can have a job to help with their living expenses as well. So that's everything. Mahalo nui, as always.
Any questions for WCC?
Yes, Mr. Sakamoto.
Yes, thank you, artists, for that report, and thank you for giving us this wonderful room. That's comfortable. Look forward to the next move. But anyway, total enrollment, do you know offhand what is our enrollment for Windward Community College right now?
Yes, I believe we're just around 3,000 students total. Of those, 600 are our early college students. So they're students located in the high schools or our two middle college sets of students, one from Pu'uhala and one from Kailua High School, that actually take their college classes here on campus and take other classes at the high school and also do work within the community. About 1,000 of the students are home-based here at Windward, and we also share students throughout the system. Also within that, we have almost 150 incarcerated students this semester. So we've greatly grown that population too.
Okay, I look forward to seeing it grow more with the scholarships. Thank you.
Me too, I hope so. We're hoping for biggest freshman class ever.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your ascendance to marketing communications. We'd like to have more community theater opportunities at Paliku.
Okay, we'll pass that along.
All right. Moving into board business and discussion. We have a couple of presentations, one from the sewer fee changes in the CARES program by Director Babcock. Okay, do it. No notes?
I don't have notes, but you
Oh,
guys have the
do we have a PowerPoint?
presentation, I think.
So
I didn't send it. My staff
Yeah,
sent it. They said it was received. It's a PowerPoint.
just wait a sec.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm Roger Babcock. I'm Director of Department of Environmental Services for the city. So we take care of wastewater and solid waste. So that's refuse collection, disposal, H-power, landfill on the solid waste side. On the wastewater side, we have the collection system, 2,000 miles of pipes, 40,000 manholes, 71 pump stations, and 9 wastewater treatment plants. Your closest treatment plant is the formerly known as the Aikahi plant. Here, that's the Kailua Regional Plant now. And then, so the overall, we treat an average of 100 million gallons of sewage a day among the 9 treatment plants. About 11 million gallons a day of that is at the Kailua Regional Plant nearby. And the Waimanalo plant is another plant on the side of the island, and it's a smaller plant, less than 1 million gallons a day is treated there. So that's a little bit about our system and what we are. So we do, we're an enterprise funded organization or utility, like the Board of Water Supply, which is separate. What that means is that real property taxes do not come to the sewer operations or capital program at all, which funds all the rest of the city. Police and fire and all other services associated with the city are through real property tax. But the sewer enterprise is funded exclusively by the sewer fees that everybody gets a sewer bill. And the sewer bill is on the same bill as the water bill. So it's both bills are shown, the Board of Water Supply bill on the left side and the sewer bill on the right side. And the sewer bill has two components. We'll see this all on the slides here in a minute when they come up. There are two components of the sewer bill. There's a base charge, which is a flat fee that all single-family residents pay the same amount every month, that flat dollar amount. And then there's a volumetric charge, which is based on how much water you use. So it's a dollar amount per 1,000 gallons of water used. And that water used comes from the Board of Water Supply side of the bill, which has a meter at everybody's house. So that's how the bill is calculated, those two components. And for the volumetric part, you take the volume used of water that you paid for, that you came into your home from your meter, and we subtract 20% from that number. And that's assumed to be your outdoor irrigation water use. And the rest is assumed to become sewage. 80% of the water that you buy is assumed to be sewage. And that's based on data from a long time ago of looking at the difference between water use, how much water the Board of Water Supply delivers, and how much sewage we receive. So that's how your bill is calculated. And if you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer.
Covering the PowerPoint slide?
Some of the PowerPoint slides, yes. Yeah, yeah. So just so you know, a median water user on the island for a single family home uses 6,000 gallons per month. So median means half of the people use less than that and half of the people use more. So it's the middle value. So some people use a lot more than twice as much as that. And some people use a lot less, only maybe 2,000 gallons a month. The median water, so the sewer fees went up starting in January last month. The first of 7 increases was on January 1st. And so for the median water user, prior to January 1st in December, and for the prior 9 years, that median water user was paying the same amount. The base charge was $77.55, and the per 1,000 gallon charge was $4.63, making that median bill $100.89, something like that. It'll be in the slide, about $100. Then on January 1st, what happened is the base charge went down. It went down from $77.55 to 63 something. It'll be on the slide. And it's on your bill, you can see it. So it went down by $14 roughly. But the volumetric charge went up significantly from 463 to something like 798 or something like that. And that was on purpose. The idea there is that it's sort of progressive. So the base charge, if you don't use much less if you don't use any water, the amount you pay decreased. And then the value of water, or the charge for water, the actual water you use, increased. So it is to encourage conservation and using less water. And so you can, and it gives you greater control over your bill. There we go. Use less, pay less. So I covered quite a bit of this already. That kind of explains how your bill works. This is an example. My eyes aren't too good anymore, so I'm gonna walk. So this is there's the $77.55, the $4.63 per 1,000 gallons. It went down, so that was $100.70. And for that same user, beginning January 1st, it went up to $103.30. So it went up $3 a month, or $2.60 more per month. If you go to the next slide, you'll see what happens on July 1st. So the second increase occurs on July 1st of this year. And then after that, the increases are only every July, so once a year. So the first increase is just for 6 months, and the second and all the rest of the increases are for a year. So what you'll notice, though, is that the base charge goes down again significantly, another $15. So the base charge will now be only $48. So if you were on vacation and you didn't use any water, your bill back in December would have been $77.55. Starting in July, it would be only $48. Okay, so that's to say that your charge that you have no control over has decreased significantly. The charge that you have control over is your use, and it's gone up significantly. It's going to be up to $11.83, and that will increase more in future years. What you can see is for the median user, the bill went up. It'll now be $107.42. So with the first two increases, it went up about $7 or $6.72. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is then showing you why we call it use less, pay less. So if you're to practice conservation and use less water than you do today, that has value, and the sort of the credit that you'll get is going to be increasing. So back in December, if you use 2,000 gallons less water per month from your normal 6,000 for the median user, you'd pay $91.44. Starting now, you'd pay $87.40. Less money, right? And starting in July, you would only pay $83. So what you see there is that the incentive to conserve water is increasing. Before, using 1,000 less gallons per month was only worth $4.63, but soon it's worth almost $24. Okay, so that was intentional. That's what City Council wanted us to do, was to change the way the bills work to give you more control over your bill and incentivize conservation. So the Board of Water Supply is supportive of that as well. If you conserve water, of course, you also save money on your water bill, a significant amount. Okay, next slide. This is to show you if you are in a multifamily unit, which could be an apartment or a condominium or townhouse, then your bills, if you get them, the base charges are smaller because multifamily units use less water. So the base charges are shown there. They decrease. They were $43.70. In January, they went to $33. On July, they go up a little bit to $36, and then it shows you through the entire series of rate increases what happens to the base fee. Overall, it goes up about $7 a month through 2031. Next slide. So we created this tool called the Sewer Bill Estimator, and it is on our website. Our website is honolulu.gov/ENV. And you can go there, or you could scan that QR code if you want to play with it now. But it will, it lets you put in there how much water you use or want to imagine using less, and what year you want to calculate your bill in, current, 22, 20, or sorry, 26 or 27 or 32, any number you put in there, and it'll calculate what your bill is in that future year for you. And it will show you that in comparison to what it is now. And it will also show you how much savings you would have if you were to use 2,000 gallons less per month. Next slide. This is kind of a screenshot of a commercial that has been running, which is kind of cute commercial. This is about water saving tips. So people wonder, well, how can I save water? You can do less irrigation as well. So just so you know, you get the 20% irrigation credit, even if you don't own any sprinklers and use any water outside. You still get a 20% irrigation credit. The So you could do xeriscape, or you can use less water by fixing leaks, not running the water when you brush your teeth, etc. Next slide. Okay, so we also are working on putting together a customer assistance program that we're calling CARES. A couple of things are set. One is that the discount that we receive is $20 a month, flat amount, basically off of the base charge. And we're in the process of getting this program started. It says 2027, but we're actually hoping to do it this year. We issued an RFP for a service provider who would run this program, and we've gotten proposals and we're evaluating those now. We'll then get them on contract and begin the program where you'll have to apply, get approved, and then you would get this credit for a year and then have to re-up once a year. So it's worth $240 of a credit. Next slide. Okay, for more information, you can go to our website, or you can call us. Anyway, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the brief. Any questions from the board? Board member Flytel.
Hi, Neil Flytel. We're thinking about the cost and the ever increasing costs. Let me ask you a couple of questions about capacity. Given the current status of our treatment plants, what percentage are we at capacity given the number of houses and residents and our population on this island? What's the percentage capacity? Where are we?
Yeah, thanks. That's a good question. So I mentioned that our actual average daily flow today, all combined, is 100 million gallons a day. The treatment plant capacities is 150 million gallons a day. So that can kind of give you a comparison of how close we are to our existing capacity.
Okay, one more question. What is the average age of all of the water and sewage pipes? What's their life cycle and what's the average age?
Yeah, I'm not sure the actual average age, but we have pipes as old as 100 years old, and then we have pipes that are, probably less than 10 years old throughout the system. Different pipes the older pipes are made of different materials. And luckily, pipes do last a really long time, especially ones in the smaller pipes, in neighborhoods. The larger pipes we call sewer mains that are big pipes receive a lot more flow, and they tend to need to be replaced sooner or maintained. So I'm not sure what the average is for all the pipes, but it wouldn't be a small number.
Okay, so my question really is, how far behind the 8 ball are you?
Yeah, I don't think we're very far behind the 8 ball at all. So we do not, unlike the Board of Water Supply, which has a pressurized sewer system and main breaks are different. They spill water all over the place. The problem with older sewer pipes is actually water comes into the pipe from the ground when it rains, and that increases our flow at our treatment plants. So, for example, at the Kailua treatment plant, in a really big rainstorm when it's raining all over this side of the island, the flow can increase to 50 million gallons a day, from 10 or 11 up to 50. So 5 times as much water is coming in. So we try to deal with that by lining the pipes. So we can put in a plastic liner inside of pipes that we know are bad. We have monitoring systems, and we have level sensors and rain gauges and flow meters throughout the system, about 100 each, I guess, of level sensors and flow meters and rain gauges all over that we monitor. And so we have a program where we spend, I don't know, maybe $30–40 million a year on rehabilitation of pipes. But, I guess maybe to kind of more directly answer your question, that's kind of a never-ending thing. We just have to keep doing that and addressing the worst issues.
Ergo the price increase.
As we identify.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Mr. Sakamoto.
Great, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Director. You know, I watched the city council. I see you over there talking to council members about, you know, your projected improvements, you know, on the website and try to get the information to the public. I wish you luck with that to get it accessible for people like myself who can't see. But concerning apartments and whatnot, I read I read a lot of papers, Boston Globe and whatnot, and they talk about using sewage to energize the raw sewage to help energize energy. Is that being explored by the city to encourage that for sewer? Because that's a good way of getting revenue and whatnot.
Yeah, so I'm not sure I know which kind of system you're referring to. We do resource recovery, you know, water recycling, and we do energy recovery from sewage, but it's at the treatment plant. So the way that works is part of the treatment process. There's a lot of energy in the organic content that's in sewage, the organic materials. You know what those things are. Those can be, as part of it, we do what's called anaerobic digestion, and we make methane, and then we can turn that methane into electricity. So that's, I'm not sure if that's what they were talking about. Maybe they're talking about heat recovery or something else, but I'm not sure.
It was like a heat recovery, but thank you for bringing up the other one about methane.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Alejandra Rodas. I might have missed it, but is this going to apply to businesses as well?
Yes, so the increases are the same for all users. So there's a single-family residential rate, which is the numbers I showed. There's a multifamily residential, which was that one, just had that one table that showed the base charge. The volumetric charge is the same for all types of users. The third category is called non-residential, which covers everything else. Every type of business, hotel, industry are all paying that same rate. So they're paying the same volumetric charge, no irrigation credit. And then the base charge, they pay the same base charge. And the way we determine how many, the multiple of the base charge is based on their water use. So if you are a restaurant, for example, and you use 90,000 gallons per month on average over a 2-year period, then that would be equivalent to 10 single-family homes. So you'd pay 10 times the base charge, 63 something, so 6,600 plus the 90,000 times, so that'd be 90 times the per 1,000 gallon rate. So that's how their bill would be calculated. And some users like University of Hawaii is one of our top 3 users, specifically Manoa. They pay more than $1 million a month because of the amount of water that they use, and it's calculated that same way.
Sure. So I get my concern would be for the small businesses, the local businesses that then as a resident, those increased costs would be passed down to us as consumers. Is there going to be a type of credit or discount for local small businesses that we know of?
No, there's no plan for that.
What about for nonprofit organizations?
Nope, no discounts for nonprofits or churches or any other users.
Even those that are serving the community, like homeless or addiction recovery programs?
That's correct. If they get a water bill, they're going to get a sewer bill.
Thank you.
Mahalo. I appreciate your time. I
Thank-
appreciate the explanation.
Thank you, anytime.
Okay, moving on to our next presentation regarding an Airbnb on 45201 Nohonani Place. Somebody here to talk about that? Oh, you're here already. Look at you. Okay, tell us your story.
Aloha mai kako o noilani jai ko uinoa. I want to mahalo the board for taking my written testimony so seriously. So you have that. But tonight, wanted to put faces to this situation because these are neighbors whom we have come to know and love. And so we're going to have several of them, as well as one online and one submitting written testimony. He couldn't be here tonight. So mahalo.
Okay, great.
Starting with my husband, Ed.
Super. Here's, just so you know, If you start repeating the same thing, I'll stop you.
Very good. Just wanted by way of introduction to thank you again. One of the things that we just wanted to go and emphasize was gratitude to be able to present. So thank you. So basically, and we'll go to the next slide, what we want to do here is, let's go and do that. There we go. So we'll just talk about the situation, the background, quick assessment and recommendation. We would do it very quickly. But on the first slide that's coming now, what we wanted to present to you is a significant blight that has occurred in the lives of the neighbors along Namoku and Nohonani Place. And this is not just a irritation or an annoyance, but has become a clear and persistent cloud over the neighborhood that has created emotional as well as real property damage. There is basically the equivalent of a resort in our neighborhood, just from where Kaneohe Bay Drive meets Namoku on the way to Pohainani, and you look to the right and you will see. But basically, we're going to go and show you in this next slide that area that is for rental properties that has been called the resort by the actual property owner. You can see on the right there is Namoku. On the left, upper left of that picture is Nohonani. And the next slide will show you that view from Namoku, from one of the neighbors affected, is one of the two-story transitional vacation units that exist that have been built up there. We know probably violating some permitting. And permits, well, again.
Start telling the story. If you start saying things that I'm not sure about whether they're legal or not, I'm doing that. One of those times. Throw something out there that I don't know what it's.
Sure.
Please.
Very good. Again, that has been filed with DPP, and also there has been violations.
You said.
With DPP?
Yes, I know. You said that there was something that was probably illegal. So could you go back to that and tell me what that was?
Is the existence of a short-term rental against the regulations or limitations of short-term rental.
you.
There's been
So
3
have-
violations filed at least.
Thank
to our
you.
knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. And because
You clarified. Thank you.
And also, you'll notice there in progress a resort parking lot. The property owner has told multiple of us, "Oh, I need a parking lot, so I'm going to go and develop that area." And in that previous slide, you'll notice that there was 6 truckloads of dirt that we actually have video on. And grubbing and grading that was also reported to DPP.
Question again. Whose property is that?
That is.
Is that his property, or is it a mutual property, or is it city?
Yes, it is that owner's property, plus he trespassed onto 3 other property owners.
So this hookah that I'm seeing on that slide is an encroachment on other properties as well?
Yes.
Are any of those people here?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, continue, please.
No easement. So you'll see on this slide over here, there's at least 7 neighbors that are significantly impacted, with 4 of them that are directly in that area together with the area that was developed started to be developed as a parking lot. Next slide. This is an example of what is on Airbnb about this vintage Hawaiian getaway escape. And that was that unit you saw, the resort-like pool. And then the next slide too is, oh, look at that, nice lounge chairs as well. And this one, you'll notice there's rental car business on site available if you wanted. So obviously there's going to be impacts to traffic along both Nohonani as well as Namoku, where The owner has said, oh, park on Namoku Street and walk across, one of our property owners right over here. That has happened regularly and persistently. And many neighborhood calls to DPP and the police for noise and traffic after hour violations for noise, obviously. And here's an interesting picture of what has happened in the building of this parking lot. You'll notice that if you go drive up Namoku towards Pohainani, you'll see this big area. And the backhoe actually trespassed along 3 other property owners to create that hole. In the next slide, you'll see what was some green area and privacy screening for the neighborhood. And then, of course, now look at this, trespassing to remove foliage used for privacy and noise barriers. And yeah, that is one of the neighbors who couldn't make it here tonight because of work, but is writing a testimony. And next slide. You see some of the things that we assessed, the dire impact negatively upon the adjacent neighbors includes noise, after hours violations, in summary, also parking taken up by rental car business there, as well as the resort customers getting their own rental cars along the neighborhood and both roads along Namoku and Nohonani, as well as trespassing that's regularly done because he doesn't have a parking lot yet. And so he says, oh, go on and park on Namoku and then walk across one of the homeowners' yards, as well as parking lots, causing grading and grubbing and change in the hillside, maybe hillside failure, as well as downstream effects, which we believe is also something to be concerned about. So we're respectively asking for investigation or some sort of action that could be supported by the board based upon what you can do, of course. And we do ask that humbly to kind of understand how we can prevent further this building of expanded resort, including a parking lot. And then I'm going to give maybe the mic for, oh, okay. Neighbor is online.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
I can't imagine that they're going to bring anything else than what their personal feeling is than what you've already described. Is it going to be something additional?
Kids on the block. And so a lot of our neighbors have dealt with this for over 9 years. So we're just trying to bring some shape to the.
And I don't think everybody, you didn't come here to vent.
No.
I'm sure that's not the case. So what I'm looking for is what the board can do, because it sounds abysmal.
Yeah.
Is the city here? Is Andy here from the city? Nope.
Here, I'm online today. This is
Okay,
Andy.
good. Good. So you heard all of that, Andy.
I actually got a call from and I returned it a few weeks ago, and I got some pictures, and I emailed the pictures to the director of DPP, and she went out there. Well, she sent an inspector out there, and they looked at the grading based on the email response that I read. And they said that it wasn't at a point where a violation could be issued. But she mentioned to me that they had issued a short-term rental violation and that she was going to send an inspector back out there. So may I ask if I can get a copy of the presentation today? I will also send that to DPP. And we'll continue the investigation as needed.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody's operating, if all of the information that's being presented here is factual, somebody is just operating with impunity, taking their property, making as much money as they can, and the neighborhood is being sacrificed because of it. I'm especially concerned about somebody taking a piece of heavy machinery, going into a gulch and starting to pull away dirt from their property and other property. And if that's not permitted, which I don't get the impression that it is, because I even went onto the GIS and looked at what permits were issued for that, and I didn't see anything for that. So that's unpermitted work being done. I don't know what the situation with DPP is and sending an inspector out, but perhaps the inspector could go to one of the neighboring maybe to the Jai, to the Jai's place and have a discussion first instead of going out there flat. Or maybe that's the best thing, to go out there flat and see what's not right. But this has come up before. Vice Chair did some research. Would you mind saying what you came up with?
So I discussed with DPP on the STR half of the issue. So
And what's an STR?
the short-term rental. So transient vacation rental is the other term. But so that site is not they don't have, what's it called? They don't have a non-conforming use certificate, which would have been like used to operate, and then when the ordinance got passed, they got kind of grandfathered in. So they don't have that. And then, but I do know that the guy at DPP said that I think the latest ordinance is that if it's anything under 90 days, the department should be enforcing. But a judge came in previously and put an injunction on that because they got to figure out how they're going to determine who is operating at that amount or not. So I think right now they are only enforcing anything under 30 days. Everything over 30 days is not considered a short-term rental. Anything under is. So per that website and whatever posting you can find, I think they've been flagged twice from my understanding, where they've had evidence that they did advertise for something under 30 days. Currently, it's just, I don't think there is a date, a number of nights. They're supposed to, because they can currently operate with somebody renting the place for 30 days or more. If they pay for 30 days, I only stay there a few days, and that's fine too, but they're still paying for the 30, but nobody else should be coming in doing that 30. Anyway, that's the current state for the STR portion of it. Just got to catch them more and turn in the evidence to them. That's what they said.
Go ahead.
Have you officially gone to Airbnb to make a report on this? Because they are very open to have community involvement. And I worked in the industry, so I'm just speaking from a fact. And what you were showing up here, was that Airbnb? Because right now it's not listed for a March date, just FYI.
Yeah.
I checked March 3 for 4 nights, just FYI.
Yeah, sometimes they have
can-
a vacation blackout period, but if you go to like July, August, it'll pop up.
Yeah, no, I'm very much aware of that, sir. They do have a pickleball, a home just north of it with a pickleball court at $406 a night, just FYI. So if you were to check.
Thank you very much.
So we have a limited amount of time, and I'm as I mentioned on the phone when we spoke, I want this opportunity for people to come to the venue and have their opportunity to say what they need to say. But once again, if you can please go to the microphone. It looked like you wanted you looked like you wanted to say something. No? You're good? Ma'am? You're good? No, you do. You want to. No? You're okay? Okay.
Sure.
Super. Sir, ma'am? Who's online? Who? Ashley, you've been listening in?
Hi, yeah. I'm one of the people who grew up in the neighborhood that's been impacted by this, and I just wanted to say a couple of things about this situation. Is that okay?
Go for it.
Okay. So their unpermitted work on their property, which they're using as an Airbnb, has, as you see, is causing erosion issues that are not only structurally threatening the homes nearby, but also the public roadway. And, housing is a really critical issue on our island. And so it's really disappointing and frankly unacceptable to have people in our community, making our neighbors and friends' homes and roadways unsafe so they can charge these like thousands of dollars to a night to tourists to enrich themselves at the expense of our community, and then still not provide that housing that'll be utilized by local families who need it. So that's where we're coming from. And I will say I did report the listing to Airbnb and I haven't heard back, but that was earlier this week.
So you talked to the company Airbnb, you said States Airbnb?
No, I reported them to the Airbnb, like on their
Okay,
website, on the Airbnb website, and I said that
Gotcha.
the property is in violation of permitting laws and is
Gotcha.
illegal.
Are you an engineer, Ashley?
No, I'm not. But I'm
No.
going off of the testimony from my neighbors and yeah, from what you saw,
Gotcha.
that big gulch, and I am very familiar with this area. So the movement of the like dirt is extremely precarious.
Appreciate that. Anything else, Ashley?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, mahalo. Last chance. And your name is?
Sorry. Hi, I'm Wendy Kikuno. My husband Barry. We're the neighbors adjacent to the 45 201 Nohonani place. But we've already, I can say, assisted him with having dirt brought through our property to be placed in his property to help him with the erosion. Well, within over the last 3 years, it's eroded and all that dirt is gone, which has gone into our neighbors' yards at this point, or into the sewer, and it's already causing problems on the sidewalk. The sidewalk is already sinking. We've had the city come out and redo the sidewalk, but within the 3 years, it's cracking again, I've noticed, which is dangerous to the pedestrians walking. And we have a really good community that has a lot of older generation people walking and using our streets and using our roadways. And also there's a retaining wall that's holding up the roadway along the properties, and that has started to crack, I've noticed. So I've taken photos of that also. And we're kind of just at a stopping point where we don't know what else we can do.
Well, what you have done is come to the neighborhood board. Andy Kawano is the mayor's representative. He's here. Obviously, you heard him talk about his connection with DPP. Vice Chair is also connecting with DPP to try and get some traction here. And perhaps that'll be enough to maybe rectify some of these issues. All your concerns are justified. You brought the information to us. So the best thing we can do is move the information forward. And I appreciate the vice chair doing his work and looking into it. And Andy, I appreciate your work. Definitely, this is something that's going to be on the board's scope until there's resolution. So each time you come each month, we'd love to hear any new insight from you from DPP. And if DPP would like to come and talk to the board at one of these meetings, we'd be welcome to have them come too.
And I want to say
Yeah,
thank
look forward
you
to helping to resolve this.
HPD also. They've come out several times and assisted us with the trespassing issue, the noise issues, the parties going on in the resort area. And I want to say thank you very much. Thanks for helping us out.
You call it the resort area. That's
Yes. That's
If you saw them and you lived next to them, it's a resort.
okay. Well, if they start barbecuing good food, give us a call. We'll all
they
go
do,
storm
I
the
see.
house. Did they invite you over for food? No, see?
Chair, if I can just add one more comment, please make sure that our legislators are receiving letters from you with this presentation. It is in front of both the House and the Senate on short-term rentals. So I think this is just a good case in point for it.
Is there a bill?
There's a short-term rental bill right now.
Good. Definitely then. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Great, Dale. Donald, what did you have?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I just wanted to know, besides Department of Permitting, have you contacted our Councilmember Esther Cayenne about this? And okay, I'm very concerned about the sidewalks because that's an AD issue. The sidewalks have to be accessible for disabled and American people. So thank you for bringing that up.
Thanks, Donald. Great job. Appreciate it. Okay. Anything else you'd like us to do as a board? All right. Next Resident community concerns. If we are following the agenda, we're at 7:08. Any resident community concerns? Hi, come on up. I already know that there are 3 or 4 representatives, elected officials that aren't going to be here today, so that'll catch us right back up. Good evening.
Stephanie Boland from Kea'ahala Road. I'm here to talk about the tennis courts at the district park, and I have some copies of photos if you guys want to look along while I speak, or I can give them to you afterwards.
So this will be the second community concern about the tennis courts that we've had in the last. We talked about it last month. You got 3 minutes to tell us what you told us, and you've got pictures and arrows, and so go ahead and do it. No, but
Okay.
no, I want to hear it again because I wasn't happy with what the result was up to this point. So
Okay.
bring more.
Yeah, so basically these are the only tennis courts, or the only public courts in Kaneohe. There are 6 courts total up there at the district park, and they have very deep, long cracks and surface eruptions where the asphalt or whatever the surface material is not only raised, but it's separated. There are weeds, mounds of dirt and other vegetation growing through them. And that covered the cracks and eruptions cover every play area of all 6 courts. I mean, there's not one court or one side of a court that isn't in disrepair of some kind. And the game of tennis, just the basics, require a consistent surface to reasonably play and have the ball bounce and respond as it's intended. So with these cracks, when the ball bounces on a crack or a mound of weeds, it doesn't react as intended. It veers off to the side or it just stops and rolls. So it really makes any kind of serious play not possible. I've been to other courts around the island. I've been to Patsy Mink Park. I've been to Kailua, some other district parks in town, and their courts are all very well maintained. And it's clear here that they're just overlooked. It's a really popular facility. Tennis and pickleball are very popular right now. And those courts are utilized at capacity most nights, weeknights, and definitely on the weekends. So, I mean, it's something that not just me and a few people, but I think people throughout Kaneohe like to use. And we're unable to, whenever I play league play or any kind of a group play, I have to travel somewhere else because we can't host anything at those courts because they're just not in sufficient condition. The nets are also broken. That's another thing. Yeah.
Thank you for the
Yeah,
pictures.
there is a safety issue actually because, yeah, where you see there have been some patch jobs on some of the cracks. I think this was more than a couple of years ago, but whatever they use, there's a filler in there that emits sand, and it makes the surface very slippery. Those are the white sort of rectangular patches you see there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, there's some sort of a grading, and then under that is sand, which keeps coming up, and it makes the courts, especially when it's wet, really, really slippery.
Okay, so the pictures are wonderful. We need to send these back to. We had a conversation with Parks.
Yeah.
They said the courts were fine.
I wrote them a long email.
This doesn't look like they're fine.
No, they're not
And
fine.
if that's a definition of fine, then
That's just a sampling. I can give you more, but that covers all 6 courts, the pictures that you have.
so Andy, hi again. You're going to have an opportunity to present here in just a second. Do you have this one to take to Parks?
Would it be possible to send me the pictures as well?
I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
Because about a year and a half to 2
Copy
years
on my
ago.
phone. I can email it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Andy.
Yeah, I was just going to say about a year and a half to 2 years ago, a community member mentioned that the courts were slippery. So I went out there to look before talking to the DPR director, and it looked like they were just resurfaced at that time. but I didn't notice it being slippery. However, maybe wear and tear has caused the resurfacing to be compromised. So we'll definitely go out there again because
courts will resurface. The ones next
So are you talking about, so you said 2 years ago?
yeah, it was about a year and a half to 2 years ago.
Okay, so we had a representative from the community come and talk about the courts being dangerous. Either it was last month or the month before. So, and these are upper or lower courts?
I don't know. They're just the district courts. So it's 6 courts that are across from the pool
Yeah.
facility.
across the street from.
Across
Right
the
next
street
to the
from
parking lot, right?
Not next to the parking lot. No, those were resurfaced. That's what I'm, the ones next to the building itself were resurfaced.
Just point of information, there are courts, Malca of the building, they were resurfaced last year. The park building, the
Over by
gym,
the
yeah, yes, but across the street, which some would call the upper courts, are the ones that I believe this lady is talking about. And they have
okay.
not, as
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
Thanks for the
Talking
clarification.
about
I didn't
the
go
6
across the
courts that
street.
are across the street.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get out there.
Sorry.
Andy, you got it?
Yep.
If you could leave your contact information with me,
Absolutely.
just write it on the back of this. And then as soon as I hear something, if I hear something before next month's meeting, I'll let you know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation. Any other questions? Any community concerns? Okay, hearing none. I'm sorry?
Yes, sir. The lot of wind coming out, the trees are just turning away. So I just want to know if there's any action to trim our trees or keep them at a low rate so they don't fall over highways and whatnot. That's a concern that was brought up to me by a constituent. Yeah, you know what, Kamehameha Highway by Hawaii Memorial, they have those trees on the hillside, on the highway. They're just overgrown and they can topple over a lot. So that's a factor.
Okay, so that was a community concern about the trees on Kamehameha Highway by Hawaiian Memorial Park. If there is any what?
Any mitigation to take care of trimming those trees or keep them from falling?
What I've seen since I live right across from there is when the tree falls over, they mitigate it by picking up the dead tree or the tree that blew over. That's what I see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And those
Yeah,
coconut.
there are some trees that get trimmed. In fact, today I saw some tree trimmers on H3 and I saw, yeah, it was H3 and Cam Highway. That's right. So working on it.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Go to the microphone.
When are you guys going to open the library?
The question was, what was your name?
Koa, Rodas.
When are you guys going to open the library? Library still closed? What's the plan to open the library? Does anyone know?
Yeah, take it. Hey Mo, I know a little bit more about the library.
Okay, hold on just a second. We've got a speaker at the microphone. Hold on just a second.
Just in Safeway, and the librarian was coming out like about 3 days ago, and I said, "When's the library open?" She said, "Now it's pushed back till spring."
Oh, okay. Well, Rep Matayoshi.
So I just have a little more information. I actually asked my staff to look into that today. They had a couple things that they found wrong. There's some off-gassing in one of the rooms downstairs, and there are a little bit of problem with the handicap stalls. They're built to plan, but there's like a drainage kind of near there that might be a tripping hazard, and they noticed that trip hazard at another library with kind of a similar concern. So they're trying to fix that. In the meantime, I have asked them if they could, since they don't really have a opening date, I asked them if they could open again at Windward Mall, if they're consider opening at Windward Mall again, just temporarily. So I'll let the community know though when we have more information on the exact opening date.
Thank you. The answer to your question is not quite yet. They have some things they need to do to get it fixed and ready for everybody to be safe. What's your name again? More of that, please. How about a round of applause for that gentleman? Okay, let's move into elected officials. Representative Takuta's representative is here. That's right. They have that event today, and the Kailua Neighborhood Board got moved because of the storm last week, so they also are meeting tonight. So some of the reps are trying to bounce between the two. Governor Green's representative, I sent the report to all the board members today. Diane, are you on board? Yes, you were
Yes,
there.
I am.
See. I see you.
Hi. Okay, so hello, everybody. Governor Green's monthly newsletter is out. I have a link for where you could read the latest edition and also sign up. And just a couple of assorted things to tell you that I was hoping might be of interest to this community. The 2026 Red Hills Survey is out. All Hawaii residents are invited to help evaluate awareness of events surrounding the 2021 Red Hill fuel storage spill. It's a 10-minute survey. If you use the Navy water system around the time of that 2021 fuel release, regardless of where you live now, please take the survey. It's online at redhillsurvey.com. The deadline to do so is February 28th. And for more information, there's a blog that the DLNR published that I've handed over to the board. And lastly, Poetry Out Loud Hawaii State Finals are happening. It's a collaboration between Honolulu Theater for Youth and the Hawaii State Foundation on Culture and the Arts. So the 2026 Poetry Out Loud Hawaii State Final will be this Sunday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. 13 high school students from across the state will participate. It is at Tenney Theater in the Cathedral of St. Andrew in downtown Honolulu. No tickets or reservations are necessary. It is free. Free parking is available. Doors open at 2:45 p.m. That's my update for you.
Thank you, Diane. Any questions for the governor's representative? Mr. Sakamoto.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Diane, for your presentation. I read it. Question, this is nationwide. There's a shortage of childcare. And I know Hawaii is part of it too, because there are a lot of mothers out there that would like to work, but they can't find affordable childcare or anybody right now. What is the governor's plan to excel childcare by getting more people involved to open more daycares to help the situation?
I'll take that back to him.
I appreciate it.
Any other questions for the governor's representative? Easy day, Diane. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Next up is Andy Kawano, Rick Blanchiardi's representative.
Thank you, Chair Radke, members, community neighbors at the meeting. The mayor's February 2026 newsletter has been posted at the city's website, www.honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter. My department, Budget and Fiscal Services, is extremely busy currently to assist the mayor in submitting his budget. The budget will be submitted to the city clerk at the close of business on March 2nd. And it will be submitted with budget booklets for the operating budget and capital improvement program budget, and a number of schedules and reports that support the budget. On March 9th, we will conduct live public hearings whereby the administration and all departments will present budget briefings and answer questions from City Council and the public. So hope you can all participate if you have time. There were some open items from last month's meeting, and I'll try to go through them really quickly. There was an issue with an overgrown clear out requests. A resident requested that the city clear Kahapu Nahale stream and canal as it is seriously overgrown. Department of Facilities Maintenance reported that work order 29722 has been initiated, and the maintenance work for the stream had been scheduled for February 7th. However, due to heavy rain and wind and potential hazard, the work was rescheduled and restarted in mid-February. And I think it's continuing on an interim basis. Regarding the fallen tree on Kionole Road, our Kaneohe Yard had previously checked the city portion of the road and cleared vegetation just recently. The photo of the fallen tree provided by a resident will be checked. They didn't see any tree when they checked in mid-February, but the crew had nonetheless cleared whatever else that could have been fallen nearby that tree area. So everything should be clear now. I took a drive through the road this past weekend, and it looked like everything had been cleared out significantly. With regard to E&B, a member asked for status on the landfill. So the response I got from E&B was that the city explored multiple alternatives over several years for siting the new landfill, including working with the military on a site in the Waipio Peninsula. Unfortunately, those plans were shot down, and the city is left with a few options due to multiple environmental and legal constraints. As the mayor shared in his presentation to the legislature on January 26th, the city is currently looking at Makaiva Hills as a potential site for the future, but that is still in discussion. With regard to establishing a disability commission, what's the status? I believe board member Sakamoto asked a question. I got this response from the managing director's office, and the response was currently the city and county is reviewing the need for another commission for the disability group. They noted that there are already multiple commissions and boards that serve as excellent forums for disability rights and disability concerns that are being brought to the attention of the city. The city currently works closely with the Disability and Communication Access Board, the DCAB, and coordinates efforts to comply with civil rights and disability laws, including accessibility of building design, facilities, parking, and communication services. The current chairperson of the DCAB is a former manager at the city's handyvan. That individual, Charlotte Townsend, also sits on the Honolulu Rate Commission. Which recommends transit fares, fees, rates, and other charges factoring in equity, accessibility, and effect on ridership. The Department of Transportation Services also has a committee on accessible transportation, and Donald Sakamoto is the current chair. The next meeting at, oh, I'm sorry, scratch that out. Yeah, board member Sakamoto is the current chair, and MDO and the administration wanted to express our appreciation for Mr. Sakamoto's public service for the disability community. And that's it. Thanks, Chair.
Don? Thanks for that report. I just emailed you the pictures of the court, and in the copy line is Stephanie's information, who brought the information forward. Are you still at work?
No, I had to run errands today. That's why I'm not there. I'll be there next month. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, if you're still at work, you need to go home.
No, I'm not at work.
Any questions
you.
for the mayor's representative? Yes, we are quite, I'm sorry. No, you're right. I jumped the gun. Next is Councilmember Esther Kia Aina, and her representative is Irene Limos. Irene, you here?
Yes.
Online.
Hi. Thank you,
Hey.
Chair Radke. Aloha, everyone. My name is Irene. I'm from the Office of Councilmember Esther Kia Aina. The council member is unable to be here tonight as she is currently attending the Kailua Neighborhood Board, so I will be doing the report. So to begin, the council member continues to meet with city agencies to discuss improvements for Kea'ahala Road and Pahia Road, emphasizing that both projects remain top priorities. Kea'ahala Road is projected to go out to bid later this year, and then the Department of Transportation Services is actively exploring improvements for Pahia Road crossing. In response to a constituent's request for murals on city-owned traffic signal boxes, our office conducted a site visit in Kaneohe to identify potential locations. We have confirmed with the city's Department of Transportation Services that the signal boxes at major intersections along Kamehameha Highway are city-owned, and we are awaiting confirmation on additional boxes that may fall under state jurisdiction. If you are interested in participating in the artwork for the city-owned boxes, please feel free to contact our office. Our information will be shared in the chat box shortly. And then lastly, Resolution 26-17, which proposes amendments to the land use ordinance related to agritourism projects, was adopted by the Honolulu City Council at its February 18th council meeting. The measure was introduced by Councilmember Esther Kia Aina and co-sponsored by Council Chair Tommy Waters. The resolution amends the city's land use ordinance to require a major conditional use permit for certain agricultural projects. A major conditional use permit will require applicants to present their proposal to the neighborhood board or community association in the area and in a public hearing before the city's Department of Planning and Permitting. So the council member is also continuing discussions with DPP regarding minor conditional use permits. The link to the resolution will be shared in the chat box shortly, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
And now it's time for elected officials' questions for Takuta Green, Blangiardi, or Kia Aina. Board Member Burbidge, and then Board Member Karstensen, and then Board Member Sakamoto.
So question for you, Andy. The permitting office, has there been a lot more permits being stamped, approved, and going? I think I would like to see like a monthly report or quarterly report about building permits. How many more, faster to the process? Because kind of the word on the street is still, man, it takes forever. So maybe if we can get some good statistics and that things are progressing with there's a newer system, right, about implementing or being able to get some things done online and so on, then we could have perhaps changing the mindset of people. What do you think? And do you have
No, I think
some
those
stats for
are,
us?
those are good questions, Board Member Burbidge, and I think quarterly statistics would be good. The time is being cut down, especially in residential and for solar. I think commercial still depends on the complexity of the project, but definitely we can provide statistics to show progress. And I believe the mayor will report on progress during his the State of the City address he's going to do on March 18th, which will be live. So yeah, we definitely can do that.
Good. And then the landfill, could you tell me the name again? Something Hills?
Yes, it's behind the soccer parks in Waipio. Let's see.
Oh, still in Waipio, looking at that.
Or it's further up the mountain. It's called Makaiwa Hills, Makaiwa, Makaiwa.
Okay, thank you very
Makaiwa
much.
Hills. Yep.
Board Member Karstensen.
Thank you, Chair. This is for Councilperson Kiana's representative. Irene, thank you for your presentation. Quick question for Councilperson Kiana. She was trying to organize a emergency preparedness meeting for the windward side, Kaneohe up to Kahalu to Waimanalo and Kailua. So just wanted to know if there's an update and timeline on that.
I will check back with council member. I think she's still meeting with, she still has to meet with different agencies. She met with HFD today, so we will get back to you on the proposed dates and timeline for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Board Member Sakamoto.
Yes, thank you. The concern I brought up with the Mayor's Committee for Disabilities, I just like to update what happened. Last week, Director Anton Crocky from Community Services took a call from our Kahalu resident.
Board, Mr. Sakamoto, who are you addressing this to?
The city.
Thank you.
Yeah, Andy. And the person asked about, what about persons with disability? What does the community service offer? Mr. Director Crocky said they have other agencies and other nonprofits. He left his phone number for the person to call. Then I sent a text to Manager Director Mike Formby, expressing about the mayor this past Wednesday. Said that the response was that they have Disability Rights Center of Honolulu, as well as the Department of Health. I think he was referring to DCAB, Disability Communication Access Board. That's a state agency. The last time we had this committee was for Peter Carlisle in 2012. When Kirk Caldwell came in, we didn't get anything. It didn't happen. I testified at the town hall meeting on May 8 at Castle High School last year. I told the mayor, when are you going to bring this committee back? Because we want to give the mayor and his directors of housing, parks, whatever.
Mr. Sakamoto, is there a question?
Yes. I just want to say that the response I got back from my manager and director for me on the text was that the mayor and the chief of staff decided the same thing, that they don't want to bring the committee back. It was devastating to get that text. We have to have a voice for people with disabilities. We passed the ADA law last year, 35 years in July. And I really would like to have this brought back, but if not, I have to wait till 2020 and get a new mayor inside there that will fight for the people with disabilities. And Michael Leona, but for the council member, Irene, I testified on bill yesterday at full council, Bill 18-2026. This is for 4-story walk-up apartments. I disagree with them being built in Honolulu without elevators. There are people who get like a stroke or have some kind of means and live on the 4th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor. And when they have to look for a house or apartment, there's nothing left. To simply say take the ground floor is not just. And I believe that what Disability Communication Access Board said in their testimony, there should be emphasis for elevators. And Councilmember Tapolo said they're going to put that in their zoning committee. So I'll be testifying on that to see if they can get elevators for the people who are elderly and the disabled. Thank you.
Andy, did you want to comment on the first question?
I think the
It was
outcome that
more of a
Mr.
comment than a question.
Yeah, I listened to Mr. Sakamoto's comments, and I believe, to the best of my knowledge, yeah, they've decided to not pursue setting up a city disability commission based on priorities and the fact that there are other commissions in place to serve those that are disabled. I understand Mr. Sakamoto's concerns, and all I can say is that I will share feedback provided by Mr. Sakamoto to the mayor and MD this coming week when we have our
Thank you.
policy meeting.
Thank you. And Irene, you got the other one?
Yes, I will share his comments with council member.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Moving on to our local elected officials. First up, Senator Keoho Kalole. Next, Senator Brenton Awa. Online.
Hey, aloha, Chair, Vice
Aloha.
Chair, members. You guys hear me? It's a little soft on my end.
It's good. You sound good here.
Thanks. As you know, we're under a busy legislative session here for questions after if there's interest in that, but not take up too much time. I want to highlight two of our projects. I always want to update you guys on that. First, our Genki Ball pilot project. It was a 5-month pilot project to try to clean the waters, see what impact Genki would have out there in Kahalu'u by the lagoon behind Hygienic. Just came to an end. We had all the kids from He'ea down to Waiahole Elementaries taking part. They were doing it in their school as well. It was a good thing. We had a lot of support, but we also had some criticism after the HPU study. We were going to actually end that pilot project, but then 2 weeks ago, the Blue Water Task Force called and said the initial water quality numbers looked a lot better than it had been. So we're waiting on the official data of that. In the meantime, the Castle Foundation indicated they want to extend the project for a year. So we're transferring it. We're working with Keahi Akahoia, the canoe club right there, to be moving forward with that. Second, we just had the 2-year anniversary of our Kahaluu food forest. We started with 70 trees over there. We planted banana, and now we're up past 300 trees on the site. Most of our ulu are giving fruit. And we also handed out air larynx for the anniversary. We handed out about 30 or so ulu trees. And so air larynx, if you don't know, are basically the branches. We rooted them, we cut them off, and we potted them. So they went out to about 30 or so community members, and then the rest of them are right outside of our office right now growing. 2 updates there, and like I said, I'm here for questions.
Awesome. Thank you for what you're doing, both senatorially and agriculturally. Representative Kitagawa.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Rich. I will be here for Representative Kitagawa today. I am one of her legislative aides. She is still here at the Capitol for lateral filing deadline tonight. So I'll be sharing a few updates and I can take any questions back to her. Thank you to everyone who completed our community survey. We received about 500 responses from community members and are currently going through our survey results. We plan to send out a mailer in March, with the results from our survey. Representative Kitagawa has also introduced a handful of bills this session. I wanted to highlight some of them that are still alive. There's HB 2361. This is a bill that the Department of Land and Natural Resources asked her to introduce, which provides administrative support to the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council and requires the chairperson of the council to be selected by the voting members from among all voting and non-voting members on an annual and rotating basis, and requires that the council meet quarterly. Currently, a staff member from DLNR serves as the chair of the council. This bill has passed its first committee and is being referred to the Finance Committee right now. And then there's HB 1817. This is a bill that we shared about last month, where Rep. Kitagawa partnered with the 6th graders from Waiahole Elementary School to establish a statewide daily bag limit of 10 ama per person during the open season. On Tuesday, the 6th graders spent the day at the Capitol testifying on this bill. They did a great job sharing their thoughts on this bill during the hearing, and a lot of people shared how they were impressed with the students. These students really represented our Castle and Windward community well, and Rep. Kitagawa was so proud of them. She also has additional bills that she introduced, which can be found on our social media accounts or in our previous e-newsletters that were sent out. All hearings and floor sessions can be watched on our Capitol YouTube channel, which can be found by going to capitol.hawaii.gov. If you have any questions for Rep. Kitagawa, I can take those questions back to her. Thank you.
Mahalo. Next, Representative Matayoshi.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Big deadline today, so I'm still at work, a little late, but after we're done with this, we'll all drive home. Started the legislative session. start of the legislative session right now. I have a number of bills going through. I'm CPC chair, consumer protection chair right now. So one of my big pushes is for anti-fraud. I've introduced bills to shut down crypto ATMs from being able to accept money. A lot of scams going through those. And also, I've tried to put a bill through to get bank tellers, if they suspect fraud, to put kind of a hold on large amounts of money being dispensed at the teller level, just to make, again, try to cut off fraud at the source. Usually, people within 24 to 48 hours will realize and then call and want their money back. So by putting a hold on, I'm hoping to stop fraud at the source. I have also introduced a bill this year, just from my public school teaching background, to ban cell phones on school campuses during all instructional, all hours, not just instructional, but between classes too. I see a lot of kids that are kind of anxious that cell phones will take pictures and videos. They're kind of on camera all the time. It's making a very anxious environment and also encouraging bullying. So have that there with some exceptions for liability for teachers. So teachers do feel more comfortable confiscating these cell phones. Unfortunately, my shopping cart bill died. I had a shopping cart bill that would basically allow the city to fine stores for their shopping carts left behind, but to give the stores a fair chance to go and take them without, recover them without the fine, and to also dispose of the carts after they were confiscated if the store doesn't come and pick them up. My first year introducing the bill, I'll try again next year. I got some good testimony this year in the first committee it went through, so I'll be making changes for next year. And I introduced another an e-bike ban bill for those really fast level 3 e-bikes. Donald Sakamoto asked me to talk briefly about that bill. But it basically just prohibits those very dangerous e-bikes that are basically electric mopeds from any kind of city or state street, sidewalk, any kind of road or method of transportation. Donald asked me to talk about 3 other bills. All 3 are regarding bus fares. Only one of them is still alive. So HB 2373 and HB 2451, giving both free bus fare for kids and free bus fare, period, respectively. They both died. They were not heard in their respective committees. There is still one bill still alive, again, giving free bus fare for kids. It's HB 1879. It's still alive. It's being referred to Finance. So if it doesn't get a hearing in the next week or so, then it won't cross over to the Senate. But as for now, that bill is still alive. Yep, available for any questions.
Next is Representative Mike Lee is not here today. Or did he make it? No. And I forwarded his report to the board. Okay, questions for the senators and representatives? Go ahead, Mr. Sakamoto.
Yes, thank you, representatives from the legislature. I just want to educate you folks at the legislature. There's a problem with the capital.hawaii.gov website for persons who are blind or sight impaired. It's not easy to submit testimony. Last year, they fixed it. We advocated National Federation of Blind that I belong to Hawaii. But this year, to submit the testimony, when you hit the button, it doesn't say submit. So you tap in all over the place on the screen on your phone, tablet, or on your computer where you're supposed to submit. I brought this up to Clerk of the House, Brian Takashita, as well as the Senate Clerk, Harold Hanaguchi, on Tuesday. So far, I haven't received anything back, but it's a challenge to submit written and your Zoom testimony to submit. So hopefully,
yeah, thank you for that. Donald, I'll take a look. I'll contact clerks personally tomorrow. I know today was a very heavy filing deadline, so I know clerk's office was very busy. In fact, they're all still here too, trying to get everything filed by the 9 p.m. deadline. So it was just, I think you just contacted us at a very busy time. I just signed my last committee report pretty recently. So We'll try to get on that though. I mean, it is a very important issue. They also changed the Capitol website, which is kind of a bit of a mess. Sorry about that. We're all kind of regretting that change. But I'll contact the clerks and try to get them on that. So you just need the button to say submit so that you can find it on the website.
Yeah, we try to do everything independent. We don't want somebody cite it or we have to call somebody on the phone and they look at it and tell you where it is. We like to be independent, do it ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have my staff, or actually I'll just personally go down there and ask them about it.
And Scott, just to let you know, there's a Civil Rights Justice Department on 2024 October mandating all county and state agencies to have their websites accessible by April 24th, 2026. So that's coming up shortly.
Yeah, maybe that might be why they tried to change it to fix it, but I think they made it worse. Anyway, I'll definitely follow up with them.
Yeah, thank you for letting me know about the bills. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Mo, I just want to say thank you, Rep. Matayoshi, for hosting my group, the homeschoolers, on February 3rd. Mahalo.
Oh, you're very welcome. Laura, your kids ask the best questions. I mean, I talk to a lot of school kids and your kids ask the most insightful questions. I always enjoy hosting them.
Awesome. Thank you. Now it's time to discuss some board business. We have the minutes from the January 15th meeting. Everybody's had a chance to see those. Any changes or amendments?
Sakamoto.
Yes, Mr. Sakamoto.
Yes, I reported to Rachel in an email. It's on the Google Drive. The word citizens fair ride is citizens for fair, FAIR, ride.
So just spelling and typo.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's in the Google Drive already.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Is there a motion to accept those minutes as amended?
Sakamoto motions to accept the minutes as amended.
Yeah, we do. Do we? 2, 3, 4. Yes, online. Been seconded. All in favor? Any opposed or abstentions? So we have, thank you very much. That's passed. Our minutes are passed. If we get to this number, all it takes is one person to just say, no, I abstain. It won't pass. This is why we need to make sure we fill up the board. Okay, committee reports and assignments. Any committee reports?
Chair.
Mr. Carstensen.
Thank you. Just following back up on Coffee with Cops, we asked them to do a summation of some of the officers that were there and some of the concerns. Obviously, traffic, speeding, e-bikes were all a concern, number one. Number two, and I'd like to do a call out on this, is again, community involvement, community engagement. And the comment that came up was supporting the Whitworth Neighborhood Security Watch coordinators, in that if there are issues, the police officers will actually go out with part of the watch and be present with them. So if there's something that comes up, the next meeting, so that it's on record, is scheduled for Saturday, April 25th.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any other committee reports?
Yeah, I was able to meet with the city homeless director. Anyway, my husband Gary, myself, and a couple other people who have a nonprofit. And so we asked him, what's one of the most important issues that he would like to see changed? And he said, basically, it's a mindset of people. I forget the acronym about not in my backyard.
NIMBY.
Yeah, NIMBY. So he said, if we can help people to see that in order to help the whole entire community, you have to be willing to give people a second chance or to give them a helping hand. And so that was a takeaway from that meeting that I had with him. And it was really good to hear about all the different services that are being provided by the city.
Nice. Thank you. Any other committee reports?
Sakamoto. Yeah. Thank you, Chair. For transportation, I attended with our Adira Lam, our board member for Oahu Metropolitan Plan Organization, February 4th. It was a very good, productive meeting. We voted on a survey that we did for comments about transportation needs in Oahu. So that was passed and it's proceeding on. Then I had my Citizens for Fair AD ride today at Club Hub Hawaii on 1050 Queen Street, 9:45 to 11:45 a.m. I'm the president of the group, and we had Department of Transportation Services as well as Wall Transit Service Bus Handy Van. Big topic was Skyline, the airport. There's no signage, nowhere to go from the airport to the rail station at the airport or vice versa. There's a blind vendor that works there. He has no way to go down 4 elevators, they cross over in the parking lot and traverse. They made a shuttle, but nobody knows where the shuttle is. There's only one person riding most of the time from the state DOT side. So that was a big issue right there.
Okay. Any other committee reports? Any announcements?
My name is Janice Lai, and I wanted to announce that the 2026 Windward Coast Emergency Preparedness Fair has changed dates from May 9. It is now going to be May 2nd. Apparently, I had to switch dates because the people that originally were supposed to be on May 2nd, when they signed the paperwork, they put on their website their event, which is a volleyball tournament, is on May 9. And so you've got people coming from the other islands that are making like plane reservations and so forth. So Windward Mall asked me to move my fair. So it's going to be May 2nd.
What time is that, Jen?
From 10 to 2.
Okay.
Windward Mall?
Windward Mall.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Any other announcements? Hearing none. Our next meeting will be in person, as we still have the virtual opportunity, but our next in-person meeting will be March 19th, 2026 at Windward Community College, Hale Akoakoa, which is when you come in, you make the turn to the left and then go up the hill. And we're up in that building there. I guess they're doing some maintenance on this building right here. Before I adjourn, I want to thank the police captain and vice police captain for being here and staying here for the whole meeting. It has never happened before.
Thank you.
Totally impressed. So make sure thanks. Round of applause for them. So if you want to chit chat with them, they stuck around for some chit chat. So, feel free to check in with them, and everybody else who came to the meeting in person and online. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned.